Get great deals on the latest phones, tablets, and business apps with O2 Business. Hey guys, Basil here with BTech, comparing the HTC 10 with all the Sony devices. Okay, just the Z5 series. We've got the Z5 Premium, we have the Z5, and we have the Z5 Compact. 4.6 inches, 5.2 inches, 5.5 inches, 720p, Full HD, 4K. Yep, ridiculous. That's compared to the 5.2-inch 2K display on the HTC 10, not M10, not M110, one M10, just the 10. The HTC 10 has a real focus on audio quality. It has a kind of woofer at the base, a kind of tweeter at the top, but really they're just two stereo speakers with slight differences in terms of the output. You've got that display taking center stage and a very high resolution front camera. The front camera isn't just 5 megapixels, it's also loaded up with image stabilization and autofocus for some close-up macro PAW work, if that's your bag. You can also see a USB Type-C at the base, as well as right-hand side, you've got a volume rocker power button and a nano SD card slot. What's cool about the slots is on the left-hand side, it's a micro SD card. Okay, that's not cool in itself, but it's adaptable storage, just like the HTC One A9 had. So that means you can get an SD card, you can stick it in there, and you can load games on it. Wonderful stuff. Up at the top there is a high resolution audio output, so that means you can listen to high-res audio without any special headphones, because the headphones that are needed for it, which I guess are special headphones, ship out of the box with it. So it'll be great for audiophiles out there. 12 megapixel camera around the back, dual tone flash, laser autofocus. Wonderful device, isn't it? Well, on paper, yes it is. Whether it is in real life, we're really going to have to test it out, put it through its paces. But how does it stack up? For ease of use, I'm going to be holding it up against the device with the same size screen, the Sony Xperia Z5, but I will point out key differences as and when they arise between those in the background. So we can see you've got a 5 megapixel camera on here too, but it doesn't have all the bells and whistles that this one does. You have on-screen buttons as opposed to capacitive buttons either side of the home button and fingerprint scanner combo, but you do still have a fingerprint scanner on all of these three devices. The Xperia's on the right hand side. You also have a physical camera button, which is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Sadly, none on the HTC 10. Down at the base, you've got a USB, micro USB as opposed to USB-C. All these three are indeed waterproof as well, so they are submergible, and as a result, the SD card and SIM card slots are under flaps. Up top, 3.5mm jack, supports noise cancelling headphones and HD audio or high resolution audio as well. And that's pretty much it. Back, flat, flat, flat. Glass back on here, frosted glass as opposed to shiny, shiny glass as opposed to plastic fantasticness, and a 23 megapixel camera. Supports image stabilization that is digital by contrast to optical, and this is a 12 megapixel snapper. So that's pretty much the crux of it as far as the design goes and the first initial findings. You've got stereo speakers on both sets of devices, so all of these have stereo speakers. We will be doing a speaker comparison, do not worry. If there's anything else you want us to test out, let us know. Moving on, it really is all about those screens. 5.2 inches versus 5.2 inches. Full HD versus Quad HD versus 4K versus 720p. Side by side, the IPS panel versus the SLCD5 panel both look pretty strong there. We're not doing a full screen comparison right now, that we will when the time is right. You can see you've also got Android running across both of these. That means home screens, application trays. One is horizontally scrolling on the Sony's, and you've got a vertically scrolling apps tray on the HTC 10. You've also got two-tier pull-down bars that are similar, but one nice thing about the Sony pull-down bar is the fact you can customize your quick toggles, which I love to do. Would have been really nice to have seen HTC implement that. There are still some Sense implementations. Even though this is a more stock experience as far as Sense goes, you can still see you've got blink feed, and you've got the same overview of your home screens and widget drop on drop off as you had in past versions of Sense. So I can get rid of blink feed, jump through to home, and talk you around the cameras. All of the three Sonys have exactly the same 23 megapixel camera around the back, loaded up with digital image stabilization, and can shoot 4K video. Now the image stabilization works really, really well, it has to be said. The photo quality is great. It was the DxOMark champion. Now the DxOMark champion is the HTC 10. Now DxOMark is pretty hit and miss. Sometimes the results look great if they benchmark well on DxOMark. To be honest, the Sony Xperia Z5, when you pinch right in on the pictures and when the lights drop, wasn't as great as some other devices out there which performed worse, which makes us question how great DxOMark actually is. Well, you know what, like any artificial benchmark, it's useful in its own right, but real world tests are always the key. So it's too early to say, even though this is a winner, as to whether it will be better or indeed worse. One thing I will say is I'm excited to test out that optically image stabilized autofocus front camera and cannot wait to record some video on this, especially at a gig or something, because HTC touts this as having the best audio recording for video on the block. So pretty sweet deal there. All the devices will be excellent, excellent, excellent for gaming. You've got Snapdragon 810s under the hood of all of these, 2 GB of RAM on the Z5 Compact, 3 GB of RAM on the Z5 and Z5 Premium. That's versus a Snapdragon 820 with 4 GB of RAM on the HTC 10. I've been playing a little bit on here. I haven't noticed any overheating or anything, but again, watch this space. I did notice that the Z5 got a little bit hot, and a while into use, the UI really slowed down quite a lot. Suggests that optimization might be a slight issue on the Z5 as far as that user interface goes. Indeed, the whole Z5 family, especially the Z5 Compact, I noticed it. As for the HTC 10's optimization, they claim that it is the fastest performing version of Android available, faster than stock Android. Yep, you heard right. The interactivity or the touch sensitivity responsiveness is even faster than the iPhone, which frankly blows my mind. So I'm looking forward to seeing a month into use, 2 months into use, if this suffers the Z5 Compact fate and grinds to a halt as soon as I press a multitasking window or something like that. Hopefully it won't. What do you think? What do you want us to test out? The HTC 10 is in the offices for a fair while yet, so let us know in the comments section below. There's really only one other thing to talk about, and obviously they've all got the same super fast connectivity features. None have wireless charging, but they all have batteries. 3000 milliamps inside the HTC 10 versus 2900 milliamps in the Z5. I think it's around 2600 or thereabouts in the Z5 Compact, and 3400 plus in the Z5 Premium. The Z5 Premium easily lasts a full day. The HTC 10 hopefully will. The Z5 not quite a full day, and the Z5 Compact again easily a full day. So thanks for watching BTech. If you like this video, click like. If you want to know more about the HTC 10, let us know. And if you like the channel, generally subscribe. That's how you'll be staying on top of everything that we do. Get great deals on the latest phones, tablets, and business apps with O2 Business.